we're here at New York Comic Con. I'm here with Charles Soule.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thanks for asking.
Enjoying the show, are you?
Oh, always. I am a New York native.
Yes.
I guess not technically. I've lived here for like 28 years, so pretty close, but I was born someplace else. But my point is, I've been coming to this show since it started.
Right.
Many, many, many years ago, and it's always a wild, super intense ride. But you get to meet so many people. So many people come in from other places, like yourselves, for example.
Yeah.
And this year in particular has been great because there's been so much love for not just my work in Star Wars, but a lot of other work I've been doing lately. So it feels very, it's felt really good this year.
When you do a project, when you roll something new out, be it Star Wars or anything else, how much, vindication is not the right word, but how much enjoyment do you get from seeing the reception that it gets with your audience?
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, whether it's, were you guys at either of any of the celebrations lately?
Yeah.
Or, okay, so you know the High Republic panels. There was the last one in London, and then the one before that in Anaheim. And particularly that first one in Anaheim, we brought out the High Republic. And when I say we, I mean me and Amy, Claudia Gray, and Justine Ireland, and the crew, Daniel and Kevin, and we were in this huge panel room with like 4,000 people in it, and we had never. We had only experienced the High Republic through a screen, online, social media, reviews, that sort of thing. So to be in a room with that many people in it, that big, and the roar from them when we came out, because they were getting to express their appreciation communally for this thing that we had made, it really felt like the doors had blown open to understanding what we had done. And that remains one of my favorite moments in my entire career, was that first panel at Anaheim.
The High Republic has a vociferous following.
Yes.
A really strong following. Was that something you anticipated when you guys started Project Luminous, or did it kind of just...
because you can't, it is impossible to say, for sure, the fans will be there. I know we did it. It's never like that. And I think there are certain people who are like that, but that's not how we were, especially since it was brand new. Star Wars is not always entirely receptive to new things.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not, and it's a bit of a dice roll. All we knew was that we were all giving it our A game, and we loved what we had done, and it felt like pure, real, the good stuff is what we felt about it. But we didn't know until we put it into the world. Those first reviews started to come in, and then again, the real, wall-up, the underscoring was that panel in Anaheim.
A lot of the writing you do, especially for Star Wars, is very, very collaborative. Obviously High Republic, obviously the stuff for Marvel. Do you enjoy that? I spoke to Ethan Sachs recently for Insider, and he said how there's a whole team of you working together and you're kind of helping steer the plot ship, if you like. Is that something you get as much fun and enjoyment out of, seeding these things, as writing your own stuff?
Yes, I mean, I am one of those guys who likes big picture storytelling.
Yeah.
So, and it is fun for me to think that we're telling this big story that has a bunch of different pieces that all are sort of thematically connected and connected in a story way. And I mean, this is kind of the dream from when you were a little kid, like getting to tell really big canvas stories in the Star Wars universe, whether it's the High Republic, whether it's something like Crimson Reign or Dark Droids, whether it's just writing the journey of Luke Skywalker between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Like, these are the dream jobs, and I've been very fortunate to have quite a few of them.
And it's interesting, obviously, the Marvel comics, you look back, I read X-Men back in the day, and there was Fall of the Mutants, Mutant Massacre. There's moments, there's stories, there's crossovers, Secret Wars. You come to Star Wars, it's still a Marvel comic, so it feels like there's these moments, Dark Droids, Hidden Empire. Again, that must be satisfying as a comic writer as well as a Star Wars writer.
It is. I feel incredibly fortunate to be working in this zone that I love at all, much less working on it at the level that I am, getting to tell stories that have real meaning and impact within the fandom as well as the Star Wars timeline. Like, I've gotten to tell some really great beats that I would have never, 12-year-old me, that's the cliche, right? 12-year-old me would never have expected any of this to happen. So I just, fingers crossed, we'll keep getting the opportunity of telling more stories, and I think as long as folks keep responding, I will.
And final question, because you've got a queue building up. Dark Droids, we're in the midst of it now.
Yep.
It's just really starting to roll out. And we're on the run up to Return of the Jedi. We're still not quite at that point. It's been a fascinating ride from Empire to Jedi. You mentioned, obviously, 12-year-old you would have been mind-blown to think you could do that. How enjoyable has adult Charles found this to do this run of stories?
It's also, I mean, it's just as enjoyable, I think. It's different. That would have been, I don't know that 12-year-old me would have done as good a job as me now, but I think it's wonderful. These are characters that I have loved. That these characters are very real to me in a way that I think they are to many Star Wars fans. So I want to treat them with love and care, not make sure only good things happen to them, because that's not realistic. But really, like how Luke went from that guy with his hand cut off at the end of Empire to the person we saw at the beginning of Return of the Jedi. That's a question I want to see answered as a fan. And so if I'm going to be the one who tells that story, which I seem to be, I don't want to make it any less than what I would have wanted to see when I was that 12-year-old boy who just walked out of Empire with his mind blown.
Yeah.
So, it's a true privilege. I am thrilled that I get the opportunity. And as I said, I hope that people keep responding to the stories and Lucasfilm keeps enjoying my work and I get to keep doing more.
Well, keep it up. Love to read it. It's a Georgia review as well, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yep.